Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly. I'm looking a little bit Casper-like, don't I? A little ghostly. Sorry. My hair's almost dry. I washed it today. That's a good thing. Okay, you guys, today I decided it'd be kind of fun to play with this palette that came out from Nabla. It's called Side by Side. It's not new. And I saw a couple other YouTubers that were using this and they were like, this is my favorite palette. This is one of my top favorite palettes for 2022, for instance. So I picked this up. I think it was maybe at the end of November, December. So I've had it for a little while and have not used it. It's a brand new, fresh palette, but it looks absolutely beautiful. Without doing the exact math, looks like half shimmers, half mattes, which is kind of my preference, even maybe more on the matte side. I was thinking I was gonna do 3 looks with it, but I don't have a face of anything else on right now. So let's get this taken care of here. Might as well just kind of chit chat and do the whole thing at the same time. And we'll just do some neutral makeup. Maybe I'll try a bunch of the shades and we'll just kind of see how it goes. Since my hair is still drying wet, or still kind of damp and drying, I'm just gonna clip it back a little bit. I know you guys probably get crazed when when I get hair that kind of drags into makeup. I'm gonna use the LYS or Less Contour. I've really been enjoying this. I didn't do that very even, did I? Whoops. Close enough for what I need to accomplish. Where'd my little brush go? This was, this Fenty brush, this was actually in with one of my videos that I was going to declutter, a bunch of Fenty stick foundation. Must have been my massive declutter of foundation. I almost ended up tossing. I'm using this, I don't know if is it a contour stick or is it a bronzer stick? Because it's feeling very bronzery too. It says No Limits Harmony. It doesn't really say. I think it's a bronzer stick. I'm using it as a bronze, mainly because I feel like I needed some color. Okay, got most of the base layer on. I still really like this KKW stick. Just in case you're wondering what my favorite is right now, I'm going to take a little bit of the Laura Geller. This is like her baked foundation powder. I need a little firm brush here. Hold on. This will work. And I had a little bit of a breakout here, so I'm just going to kind of go over the top of it. And just like that, you would never even know it was there. Love this stuff. All right, I'm going to put on a little bit of the Dior blush on right now, just because I think that this palette, even though it does have a number of warm colors in it, I might go a little cool. And I've mentioned this before because I've been using this blush in a lot of videos lately, or a number of them. But Pure has almost, in my opinion, an exact dupe for this blush. Pure Cosmetics PUR. If you can't find the Dior one, or you don't want to buy the money, or don't spend the money on the Dior one, definitely check out Pure Cosmetics. Again, not sponsored, affiliate, endorsed. I'm just telling you what I like. Let's do something with the lips here. Tried and true MAC lip liner in Spice. This is like an OG Spice. If you're talking about like 90s lips, this is the liner I used in the 90s. In fact, I think everybody used this liner in the 90s. Okay, little liner on, throw in a little dose of colors matte lip, and this is in shade Heartbreaker. Probably a little warmer than I need, but let's go ahead and put some eyeshadow on. So I really wanted to get into this. I really wanted to play with it because, well, other people said that they really liked it. And I thought, well, if other people like it, maybe I'll like it too. One thing that I noticed going just off the bat is I don't really have a way to go down a row or down a column. This column right here is all shimmers, and I'm never gonna wear all shimmers. I don't know, I've played with a couple shimmers recently that when I use a brush to apply them and not much else, they buff out into a really pretty like satin shade without being too sparkly and too glittery, which is a preference of mine. And I think this might be too dark. So we're going to stay away from going down a column and instead look down a row. So that is definitely a look. It's going to be very, very dark and gray and smoky. That's pretty dark. That one, I can kind of see. That one kind of light. I think where I really get the most, not even that. I was going to say, can I do squares? And I can do some squares, but then like this one right here, you're stuck with all shimmers. That's just not going to work. And that would be the one. Going diagonal gets you some combinations. Yeah, I think there's some. I think how I'm going to use this palette is I'm just going to bounce around. So I'm going to start with the first shade right here called Bonjour. And I didn't even take this off yet. You can't even really hear that. So aside from resolutions and goals and all that kind of stuff for the new year, what are you guys watching? Like, are you guys watching anything on TV right now that I should be watching? Any shows? Oh my gosh, amazing, and it's fun, and I need to get in, you know, what do I need to watch? What should I be watching? The only sitcom we really watch is Ghosts. Kind of funny. But we don't really watch those. We watch a lot of like either documentaries or we'll watch some miniseries or shows like Wednesday. We really like Wednesday. But as far as like our regular shows that we watch, I think it's a lot of like SVU, you know, those types of things. The FBI shows, Dateline, which is kind of like a documentary. We don't watch a ton of TV, but probably an hour or two in the evening is kind of our, I don't know. So what should we be watching? I guess that's kind of what I want to know. I'm going to go in a little bit darker and I'm going to take this shade right here called Halftime. And this brush is probably a little bit bigger than I need it to be, but let's just go ahead and see if we can't give my mature hooded eyes a little crease here. I probably don't need to be using as many shades as I'm going to, but I wanted to kind of get a feel for this, mainly to see if this is a palette that I can take for work. I tend to wear a lot of neutral eyeshadow when I travel for work. I do travel for my job. That's not going away anytime soon that I can tell. In fact, at least the first 6 months of the year, I've already kind of sort of plotted out my travels. I'm doing a lot of traveling. If I don't make 75K gold Alaska Airlines this year, I don't know what I will. I used to do so many flights and I could get to it by segment, but a lot of my flights, especially in 2022, a lot of my flights were long haul flights, and so I almost made it by miles. A couple of rewards programs and things like that. All right, I think I'm gonna go a little bit darker into Beauty Mark, which is this matte brown here, kind of right below Halftime, and gonna put this up against my outer corner. Okay, so that shade right there is like a cooler tone or a neutral taupe shade, and if I had my druthers for work, I would probably just use that shade alone and maybe not much more. Or maybe I would use that and then take Bonjour all over my lid just to kind of lighten things up a little bit. But that taupe, cool tone taupe shade is fantastic. I've been using a Rephr 01 brush this whole time. This is my first Nabla palette. I feel like I've had other products from Nabla before, like maybe a lip gloss or something. I didn't go to look for it. I'm assuming I still have it. I don't think I decluttered it. When I did, I didn't film my lip declutter video because it was crazy. I had lip products in drawers that I had not touched in a very, very, very long time. So I needed to just kind of massive just dump of it. Okay, I think I'm gonna take the shade called Clan, which is right here. It's kind of like a charcoal gray, maybe a brown base to it. Super saturated. Yeah, that's a nice shade. So far these are all blending very well together. If there are other Nabla products that you guys can recommend that you've tried out before, will you leave me a comment down below, tell me what they are, because based on this palette I would try other brand. I feel like Nabla is an influencer or something, isn't she? I didn't do my homework. I just saw people like palette. So I went ahead and looked it up. I think I got this from Ulta, maybe even during like a Black Friday sale or something like that. Okay, this shade is super pigmented, but it is blending. I'm getting a little patchy back here, but I'm not convinced that's the eyeshadow. Could be just my eye. You know how we all have that one eye that likes to do its own thing. I think I want to take this pinker shade right here called Magic Moment. It does look a little bit like a duochrome. I'm going to apply it with my finger, and it's showing up copper on my lid, which is slightly more unexpected. I think I was thinking it was going to be a little bit more of a pink. Yeah, I think I was thinking it was going to be a little bit more of a lighter pink, but it's pretty, and I really do like copper bronze eyeshadow on most eyes, and I've got brown eyes, so I can pretty much get away with a lot of colors. Some colors look better, like, you know, navy blue, purples, some greens can look really pretty with brown eyes. And I always look for shades that are going to make, you know, brown eyes kind of pop a little bit more. Otherwise they just kind of get lost. I'm taking that first brush that I used and we're just going to blend in a little bit up here. All right, those are pretty. I feel like I need a little bit more lighter in the center. I'm going to take this shade right here called Ray of Light. And I have this brush that I was using earlier. I'm going to just color switch it really fast and flip it over. Take Ray of Light right here. And that's maybe a little lighter than I need. All right, so I guess what I'm learning about these Nabla products is she's pigmented. Like, she's got a little something behind her. Okay guys, I'm back. My camera decided to have a little bit of a technical malfunction here in the middle of it, so I went ahead and put some mascara on and a little bit of setting powder to kind of blend in that blush a little bit. It's maybe a little too pink for the rest of this look, but it's not bad. It's not horrible. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about this Nabla Side by Side. I don't know what it's supposed to be side by side about. If you know, tell me. I do see that there's, you know, definitely some cooler colors. There's some warmer colors. The look I got, you know what? It's pretty basic. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty basic. But sometimes you just need the the basic look. I'm going to take a little bit of this tempera color down here. I just keep layering just for something fun to do. I'm just going to take a little bit of this, warm it up. I know when I originally started this video, I was like, oh, I'm going to do something cool color, cool tone because mascara. I'm going to do something cool tone because I've got this pink blush. And then I went ahead and did warm shades. But in my defense, I really had no idea that that one shade was going to be as warm and pink as it ended up being, or warm and copper colored as it ended up being. I really thought it was going to be more of a pink shade. So that's what I get for not swatching things and going right in. I would have known had I swatched it. But I'm not disappointed, and I think that the eyeshadow is actually very lovely. And this is one that I would absolutely take with me packing. I'm gonna, or when I travel, I think that the case is fine. It's like a textured cardboard. It does have a magnetic closure on it. I'm gonna keep it in the box when I travel with it, just to kind of make sure that it doesn't pop open in transit. And I think I'm gonna use this over the next week or so, really just kind of get familiar with all the different shades and see if I can do different looks with it. I mean, right now I used a number of shades, right? Did I need to? No. I still have just brown eyeshadow on, but I think it's okay. I think it's fine. Yeah. So we're gonna call this video a, I don't know, just basic. I'm a basic bee. I'm a basic eyeshadow today, but that's okay. I'm not going anywhere. I'm literally at home. Well, because that's when I film. Say that I'm gonna play around with this palette some more. I am very, very curious though. If you have recommendations for other Nabla products, leave me a comment down below. That's what I really want to know, is give me the information. And then whatever recommendations you guys have, maybe I'll be able to take a look at them and add them to the collection, maybe work it into a video if you guys are at all interested. Or if you want to see something, if you've been curious about something and you're like, hey, yeah, I want the tea on that, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you guys are doing really well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.